Hello everybody, it's Wednesday, so I decided to do Whiskey Wednesday. I've been hearing a little bit about Restoration Rye. It's from Castle and Key here in Kentucky, and they have started producing their own whiskey and bourbon this year, where they had recently sourced it. I am a fan of the Pinhook Rye, which I use a lot more in my mixing drinks. I don't really drink it on the rocks or neat. Full transparency, I've said it on the last video, I am not a huge rye guy. I do like ryes, and sometimes I just get in the mood for them and I need to drink them first. If I drink them after bourbon, I don't like them. My taste buds are, I do like a hot bourbon sometimes that also is full of flavor. More your vanillas, caramels, the nutty taste like pecans. Those are what my profile is. With this, I've heard good things, reading their notes from it. I like to read their notes. I'm not going to read them to you, but I'm gonna drink from it first and see what I got here. It's a 3-year rye, so I'm expecting. I want to make sure it was clean. A young taste. I'm gonna pour a little bit in there so that I can also do a cube in a minute. These are $39.99. I'm not going to post that on there on my script, but it's $39.99. Where I got it from, I think somebody said they're from $39.99 to $49.99. Let me see. Immediately from the nose, you can definitely get the smell of the alcohol. You can tell it's a younger bourbon, very light, which again, I know they're producing this while they're waiting on their bourbon to have some age. And I think rye whiskeys, honestly, and then we had a debate the other night, a couple of guys, I think 8 years is probably the max that so far that I've liked a rye. I don't get much. Like, man, it's hard to get through, and the nose is not, to me, it's not a good nose. I'm just gonna be honest, transparent with that. On the initial drink, I get a kind of I would say like a spice, like a nutmeg spice. It seemed to have like a little honey taste to it. Not real sweet. The finish is interesting. Let me take a second drink. I get a lot of honey in the flavor. Wow, that finish right there went straight spearmint. And almost like you can't really taste anything else. It's like a cinnamony, spearminty. It's not peppery. I'll be honest, so far, not a huge fan being a bourbon lover. But I can see where somebody that likes rye would like this. This is all those drier notes to me is what I would say, the cinnamons and the spices. That's just not what I like in my bourbon. That's a personal preference. And the typical thing that I don't like about rye is the finish, is what I typically don't like. And it's not horrible, but it has a very drying taste in your mouth. But it's almost like your mouth goes a little numb with the spearmint and the cinnamon, which kills every bit of the flavor. And anytime you drink something or chew like a spearmint gum or a cinnamon gum, you know how everything is dominated by the flavor after. And that's kind of what this bourbon does to me. Can't hurt it with a cube. Right now, I'm not a huge fan. I could say that probably if you like rye, this is a true rye. There is nothing past a rye on it to me. That it doesn't have any bourbon feel to it. And typically, if I like a rye, it has a bourbon feel. The honey that I first tasted You can get a little part of that. I'll tell you now that the tasting notes, we're talking about caramels and brown sugars and confectionate sugars. That's a wish in my book. Some of you might be able to pull it out. I don't pretend to tell everybody how to taste bourbon, or in this case, whiskey. Some people get offended by that. I'm not a fan of it so far. I think that, again, if you like rye, you might want to try it. $39.99. And if not, what I'm going to probably do with this is start making my old fashions and stuff with it, because I love a spicy rye with my old fashions, my Manhattans, really any of my mixed drinks. So that's probably what I'm going to use it for. Did want to try it on ice. Now, wow, I have to say, pleasantly surprised. You still get a hint of spearmint at the end, but it's actually turning into more of that baking spice that I like. Bacon, Doug, big bearded one. Baking spices to me is carrot cake. That spices in a carrot cake, the spicy, but at the same time really sweet. I didn't catch much confectionate sugar, but the honey is back. Okay, I could drink this every now and then with a cube. What it's done, and probably because of the age, and I really didn't think about that when I first started drinking it. You still have so much of the alcohol. This was probably leading to more of the spearmint and the cinnamon that almost numbed my tongue, I would say. Now it opens it up. It still has a very spicy finish, but it's not dominating. Like even in the finish, I still can taste a little bit of the baking spice. During the front and the middle of I can taste more honey and sweetness, but it doesn't last long, I would tell you that. Again, this is probably going to be a whiskey that I mix, and I think it's going to be phenomenal in that. So, Average Joe Bourbon says, neat, very, very spicy, not much flavor. Get a little bit of hint of vanilla, but after the second or third drink, the finish just dominates with the spearmint, cinnamon, that kills it, almost numbs your tongue. Then with the ice, it takes that alcohol away and gives you a little bit more enjoyment on the front of the drink. Finish is still prevalent, more spice, but it turns into more of a sweeter spice. So that's my tasting notes on it. $39.99. If you want to try it, try it. It's Average Joe saying this is a mixture for me. Have a good night. Here we go again. Click. Damn. Okay, I am not editing. These things aren't working tonight.